You've heard dark chocolate is a heart-healthy superfood. But what if I told you the biggest trial ever found zero effects on heart disease? And eating too much might actually be worse for you than milk chocolate? Stick around because I will show you the good, the bad, and how to keep dark chocolate or chocolate in your life without the hidden risks. Another week, another discovery. Let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about dark chocolate or just chocolate in general. Chocolate, or cocoa, is native to the tropical rainforests of Central and South America. Cocoa began as a bitter, sacred drink, not a sweet, delicious bar that we're used to today. They would mix it with chili, vanilla, and corn. The Mayan and Aztecs often used it in rituals, weddings, burials, warrior priest ceremonies. And it was so valuable, it was even considered a currency in some cases, trading it for food and goods, and in some cases, historical data indicates it might even be more valuable than gold. Preparation, much like today, was an art. They would pour it from heights to create a foam, which was prized heavily in those rituals. Taking it to 1500, the Spanish explorers brought cocoa to Europe, where the bitter drink shocked the palates of the Europeans, and they decided to get a little bit frisky, and they started adding sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla, which transformed it into the sweet treat that we know today. However, it was still considered a luxury. It was hard to source, and generally speaking was something that was only given to royalty and aristocrats, and it was not your everyday dessert that regular people could have. Then comes the 1800s, the cocoa press, the invention of the solid chocolate bar, and you heard it, milk chocolate. Made it affordable for everyone, and that leads us to today. Chocolate on every aisle of not every aisle, but it's in every grocery store now. And every now and then you see a headline about the health benefits of the heart-healthy superfood, cocoa. The flavonoids in dark chocolate have been found to help relax your arteries, which improves blood flow and can slightly lower your blood pressure. So there is some good claims in there. And ultimately, we all want an indulgent that is secretly good for us. And so a sweet treat that loves us back, or even if it's just a marketing term, we'll take a bite and say, hey, this is okay because it's a superfood. But the science says those benefits have a ceiling and the risk can climb real fast. Let's take a look at the science. So, where do these hard, healthy benefit claims even come from? Well, they've been around for a while, but a study done in 2017 proved that taking dark chocolate flavonoids can lower your blood pressure 3 points. This is most evident with people with high blood pressure. To put that in perspective, walking 10,000 steps a day, you're going to get your blood pressure drop 4 to 5 points on average, and even more if you have elevated blood pressure or you're losing a lot of weight. Dark chocolate has more minerals and obviously flavonoids than milk chocolate, and typically not the sugar. So there are reasons to say dark chocolate is potentially good for you, and the flavonoids in the dark chocolate are what are credited for opening up the arteries, improving blood flow, and lowering your blood pressure. But if we've proven that, if it helps your heart in the short term, why would the biggest heart study find nothing? Which leads us to the next one. Another study in 2022 confounds the evidence a bit. 21,000 adults, 3.6 years, taken 500 milligrams of flavonoids, found no significant reduction in total cardiovascular events. The short-term blood pressure improvement didn't really translate to fewer heart attacks or strokes. It was mostly null. And if we take a look at where you're going to get those flavonoids from, it is going to be from the dark chocolate, but there's risks to that. If you're not careful, dark chocolate is known for having high levels of cadmium, especially dark chocolate sourced from Latin America, and lead. This accumulates during the processing in the drying and the dust post-harvest. Consumer Reports in 2023 found that 1/3 of 48 different chocolates tested had worrisome levels of cadmium or lead or both in just 1 ounce. Over 80% of dark chocolate bars tested in 2022 exceeded the daily safe limits of at least one heavy metal. The paradox is higher cocoa percentage making that dark chocolate, giving you those health benefits, gives you more flavonoids, but also more heavy metals, which arguably is worse than the health benefits from the dark chocolate. Milk chocolate, on the other hand, has less of those flavonoids, so you don't really get the health benefits. Now it's just a straight up dessert, fewer heavy metals, but more sugar, which has its own set of downsides. Dark chocolate, more heavy metals, and it actually has a little more calories. Organic, you'd think, okay, well, organic is good, but actually studies have found that a lot of the times organic bars have more heavy metals than non-organic bars. This isn't always the case, but it means if you're going to chase organic, which I generally do, you need to really do your research and make sure where you're getting your chocolate from, it is sourced in a way that reduces those, heavy metals that come in it. And it can be done in processing. It's just more complicated, and they often don't do it. All right. Bottom line, chocolate is what you think it is. It's a dessert. The health cost is modest. The risks are real if you're eating it in excess. You can get your flavonoids from other safer foods like berries, apples, and tea. If you're going to have chocolate or dark chocolate, which I still recommend you do because it is delicious, limit it to 1 ounce a few times max a week. And if you're doing dark chocolate, rotate brands so that you're not getting it from the same brand over and over again. In case one brand is highly toxic, you're not getting the same one, you're swapping them out. Go do your research if you're chasing dark chocolate. Don't just assume because it's on the shelf that it is going to be good for you. All right. If you like milk chocolate, just eat it occasionally. You can get your flavonoids from other plants, and it's delicious. But the thing is, it's a high sugar content. You do not want to be eating bars and bars of milk chocolate either. It is an indulgence, and you're allowed that, especially if you're taking care of yourself. Chocolate is still a joy, but it is not medicine. Treat it like the dessert that it is, and you can keep the pleasure without the poison. Chocolate works best as an occasional treat, not a daily health strategy. Strong daily habits, plant-rich diet, regular movement, quality sleep can help offset indulgences. That is the reason for healthy habits, is so you can have a little indulgence every now and then. Your healthy routines will let you enjoy those delicious treats that you want to eat during your life. All right, that's it for today. Next week, we're going to uncover the surprising benefits of coffee, both the perks and the hidden downsides. And no, it is not about pairing it with chocolate. Like, subscribe, drop me a comment. I always appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.